everyone, very special livery lobby stream today. I felt like making a livery, so that's what we're going to do. And we are going to make the Iron Dames LMGT3 livery from the 2025 series. And in a couple of the previous streams on here, I said that I make my own liveries, so I thought I would get you guys involved and show you how I do so. So at the moment I've got this Porsche livery on, but this will no longer be the main livery on here. I'm going to make something completely different. So if you don't know about the Iron Dames, they are a female fronted team in the European Le Mans Series and the World Endurance Championship. So we're going to replicate that. Going to paint the car just a base colour for now, and it will make sense as to why as we go through the process. So the LMGT3s have Goodyear tyres, so I'm going to stick those on. And we're working from a blank slate. I've got a couple of pictures up on my laptop because I've actually seen this car in person when we was at the European Le Mans Series back in September. So I've got an idea of how everything should look. And I tend to start from the side. And I want to leave this carbon because there are some carbon bits on the front of the car and on the rear, and I want the carbon to stick through, basically. So first thing I want to do is find the right shade of pink. So we've got lots here to pick from. So those are the gradients. And what I'm going to do is stick that on the car. And I'm going to try and do my best to colour match. So we'll stick this one on first. Start about there. So I think we need a bit more purple. This is the hardest part in colour matching. I think that looks about right because I can barely see. The actual shade of it. So that's fine. So that's the first one. And then this one's going to be stage lighter. I actually think we need a bit more. Do we need more purple in there? No. do we need more red? Once we've got the colour swatches, we'll be okay. Wonder if any of these stock colours will help us just get the right shade. This needs to be a bit lighter and we need more pink. So about there. This one is tricky. This one is a little bit tricky to get the tone right. Okay, so I think we're about there. So might need. Okay, yeah. We'll start to see the block disappear about there. So do go step up. No. There. I think that is about as close as we'll get on that one. So then we need this purple. And one of these stock ones wasn't too far off. I think, yeah, definitely not those. That one may be closer to the top. Let's take that one for now. So need more purple in here. Needs to be a bit darker. That's too dark. Nope. So we need to go about there, and then I want it to be light, a bit more color saturation. Once you get the colors about right, so that one is pretty close. And then lastly, the pale lilac, I would class that as. I actually think there, it's too dark. That, and then no, it's too, need to desaturize it a little. Oh, definitely too much. I think the saturation point around here is about right. So it needs more color. You really just have to play around until you get it about right. See, now there's too much grey in it, so it definitely leans more towards colour. That's too much, so I think about there, and just need it to be, nope. See, now that's too grey. It's definitely not that way on the colour scale. Oh, okay. I'm going to say about there, 294. There, I think is about right. So now we've got our 3 colours, so 4 colours here, of which we shall need, which is excellent. So now we can start building this livery. So I need the brighter of the pinks first, and we're going to put it about, goes at an angle about there will be fine. Flip it onto the other side. Now this will make sense. Then there's a white base, then the stripes go incrementally towards the pink, the brighter pink, and then at an angle. So this looks like the angle is just over by the O and the D of Goodyear. So I'm going to guess about there will be fine. All will make sense. Then we have, what we're going to do is duplicate this shape, and then we're going into the next shade of pink, trying to get the height about right, so it looks like about here on this model of car. I think actually no, it might be a little bit higher. About there will do. And then the next shade can go there, and then this shade, try and get the height about the same, like that. And then I want to make this section black. That looks about right. Okay. So this is where the tricky part comes in. So this is going to be part of the pink that goes up the side of the car. And what I might do is see if there is a shape already made for them on here that might help, but I'm not sure. No, let's have a look to see here. No, okay. So we're going to make the shapes ourselves. Want to just actually going to duplicate that and come along and try and match this up with the shade of pink that we have there. So like that. That positioning probably needs to come a little bit over. Maybe that's a bit too much. Yes, that works. Then we go to this shade. I want to just make it a little bit smaller. This is where, again, it can get a bit tricky because I need it to fit that part. Actually, probably think the first pink is a bit too wide. Looking at the angles, so it needs to come that way. This is very tricky to judge. I'll tell you what, I think I actually have a better plan. Right. It's going to be better if I mark out the sections first. So the white comes along up to about there. So the pink, the first pink goes about here. It's a slightly different iteration of the Porsche, so the shapes are slightly different, but it's enough for me to go off. So that will work. So then we want to go shade darker. Like so. Yeah, this method works a bit easier. So we have this one, and the stripes get increasingly thicker. So we go back. And then the very fluorescent pink can go. Mark it out there, and then just bring that there. So that gives us the blueprint to go along. And then best way then to do this part is going to be if I start out with this one, drop it down a bit on size. About there will do. Then it needs to be this darker one. That will work. You'll see why in a minute. Then this one. So I just need to bring that one square down. And then this one about there will do. Okay, so then so I need to do a little bit of adjustments there. Problem is that is just ever so slightly blurry. There we go. Okay, that's those parts done. Add the black part at the bottom, and I think that sizing has worked out just about right. Put that there, and then we pop it underneath. Okay, that works nicely. Just looking at the body shape now, we will work on the front of the car. So I'm just looking at a photo of the bonnet or the hood for any of our American audience, and there is a slight notch out of the bonnet. So I'm just looking to see where I give myself a reference point. Okay, so the whole bonnet is pretty much white. We've got the black cut out on the hood. So that will be fine. So we're going to be about here. Making sure I got the size right. Yes, it comes down in, probably actually a bit more triangular in a way. Probably more like that. Yep. And then it matches the shape of the hood. So I wonder if we can find something like that. That I think will work. Yes, that looks about right. And then we have some square colour, would you call it a Pantone on the hood? So we need to go to that one first. Duplicate that, and we'll be about there. A bit chunkier there. Duplicate, and then our big pink section there. That looks right to me. I'm going to get all of the shapes on the car done first before I start to add any of the actual sponsorship decals. So we have our stripes here. I want to make an outline of this section on the front. So I'm going to make myself a little template. So what I'm going to try and do is reverse engineer this. Actually, I think somebody has already done the part for me. Yeah, that can work. Actually, that will work extremely well. So what I'm going to do is take this, and I want the carbon to be a shade darker. So let's put it under there. Like that. And then we just need to create our stripes that we have on the side. So which angle are we coming in at? And this is all just by eye. A bit lower, I think. About there. No, a bit lower. And then last but not least, we want to then just even it out. Get rid of that part, like so. And cover up any excess. And then we have our stripes running all the way down to the front of the car, which is what we want. So now we need to start adding some white to the car. So I'm going to start on the roof first. And again, this will all make sense. So the white comes to about there. That looks fine to me. Again, we want this gradient of the Iron Dames colours on the roof. So looks to me to be quite wide. Start about there. We want a nice chunky part there, that, and then I'm going to call that fluorescent pink. About there. So that looks relatively decent to me. Actually, what I am going to do, looking at the bonnet, is just tidy this up a little bit. Bring that. I need to change the angle ever so slightly. Is it gonna? No. There we go. It's a little bit thinner than what is the actual on the 2025 model, but we don't have the 2025 model of this Porsche, so that's going to have to make do for now. So onto the bodywork of the Porsche, and I can see you screaming, going, "Oh my god, what are you doing? You've just covered up all of your hard work." Let me do that. Bring it out underneath, and that looks, can't see anything. Okay, so we can see a bit of white there sneaking through. So what I'll just do is move that under there. Perfect. Right, so I'm going to continue on with the front of the car. And this is where it's going to get a bit tricky, because we have some really interesting shapes here over the wheels. They're almost like squashed square, like curved squares. So if I take that, I'm going to just fatten it down a bit. Find where about it comes together. So it needs to come a bit lower. Widen it up, because it actually comes across the lights, but we come across the lights, we're going to be going onto the bonnet. So I'm going to just take a bit of creative license, I think, here, and just make it fit this shape. It's about there. We need to go to this shape. How much am I drooping down by? Okay, that's fine. And then we actually go into straight into this pink here, which will help us out a lot. Okay, so now I can see that is dropping down. So I just want to change that. And then we have that. And then on the front, this looks like, get the right angle. I'm going to want to do this by surface, actually, because it will look a tad strange. So like that. Actually, no. Yeah, definitely want the other one. Shrink it down like so. And then the black comes all the way down. What's it in line with? So it reaches just over the bonnet pins, like that. and continues down to meet down here. But I don't want to go over my carbon part too much. Like that. And that's the front of the car. Now we have a really tricky part. Because we're not going to be able to have this go underneath because of our carbon layer. We can only go as far as here. So that will work like that. Actually think it looks like this black part comes up a little bit too much, but once we get the decals on there, it should be absolutely fine. And then we need our lovely bright pink here. Okay, need to think of the best way to do this part. Which will be come here, come down ever so slightly. Okay, that's not going to work. Where does the pink notch in? About there, I think. Yes, that will work. And then we just move that underneath the white to make it look like that. Actually, and it will need to follow to match up to the other part of the pink. But that won't be too bad. Angle that here. How far can I come out? About there, I think we can get away with. Then to there, and look at that, you wouldn't even know. Then we want to colour this part white. Up until there. For now. So that needs to go underneath these. Yes. And then it needs to go there. And we just got a bit of touching up to do here. Let's do this part first. I feel like this part won't be too bad to touch up. Nope. That needs to go underneath. Here, yeah. Okay, yep, so I need to then cover that part because those are parts of the rounded squares. And then this part. Check that's not going to pull over anywhere I don't want it to, which looks fine to me. And this is how nitpicky I get. I want these to be really smooth in terms of the transitions into the lines. So like that. Then this one, just put a bit more angle on it to cover the wheel arch. Then I need the almost lilac colour to go there. Then that's going to go there. And then lastly, the white. There we go. So that's the front of the car done. So what I'm going to do is just we'll do the World Endurance Championship version. So we've done all that part. The back window comes under this part here. Not too worried about that part as of yet. So I'm going to start on the rear of the car. This is where it's going to be a little bit tricky. So I want to follow this archway on the 911. So I'm going to need something like that, but I want the rear of it. Do we have a rear template? I don't want the front vent, front bumper vent. Nope. Front vents, front. front again. I can do it myself, but it would take less decals if there was a template for me to use. If not, it's fine. Another front vent. Stripe hood. I don't think we're going to find a rear section. No, okay, right. Okay, nope, that idea is not going to work. How high up does it come? So it comes up to about there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself a marker, and that's going to be about there. That's going to be my marker. See if I can Frankenstein this. So I don't want it going onto that part on the underside. Okay, I can kind of work with that. I wonder if I can just... No. Okay, that angle won't work. Let's try it this way. Okay, now we're cooking with that. Okay. How far can I get away with? Do that. Paint it black. Move it underneath there. And if I just clean up this part, it will be okay. I feel like I'm being optimistic with this one. Yeah. What curve? I think curve is going to be the word I'm looking for. Hello, that might work. Oh, it's so close to being about right. Okay, that works. So then all I need to do is just do that angle. Okay, that's what I can do there. Come on. I think that will work once I've got the decals on there. You're not going to really notice any differences in the shape. Should be masked. It's creeping through there. Don't think we'll see enough of that pink to worry about it. Make sure that's not going too far. And then I should be able to just round that off. I think that's about as good as I'm going to get if I check from the rear. Yep, that works nicely enough. Okay, I'm happy with that. Then we just want to fill out some of these gaps. Yep, that's fine. Shouldn't be going over a little bit there. Do. Oop, helps if I paint that the right colour. So this is now starting to look like the livery. Now this actually is a glass window on the actual car, but there's no way of really turning it into glass on this. So we are going to get a bit creative. Do that, and then so let's go there. And then all I need to do is just tidy up that part there, because it's all about attention to detail. Like that. And we have near enough now our base for the livery done. So that is the main shape of the car done. So now it's only got to start that sentence again. Now we just got to start applying the decals and getting all of the branding on here, which shouldn't now be too much of an issue. all I need to just double check is actually go on to other, or do they come under Windows? Come under Windows. So just doing that. Copy to the other side. Goes there. Come on. There you are. There we go. Base of the car done. The side mirrors do have some pink on them. Let's see if I can. Okay. About there. Shows the mirrors are not completely aligned on this car. Where's that? There we are. Okay, that didn't work as well as I expected it to. This is going to be a tricky little angle to do. What I have to do, I think, is do that and then surface. No. Oh. Oh no, it doesn't like that. Oh, these mirrors are a pain. That will do. Right, so now I need to start adding some sponsorships. So we have Iron Dames. On the door. We need the LMGT3 number board. Actually, we'll do the DHL variant. So I'm trying to get the position about right for it. Iron Dames run number 85. And there will be a Le Mans style font. If all else fails, I think no, that one doesn't look right. So I just remembered I have the proper size ones, and then where are my numbers now for this particular style? Yeah. Bit to the left. There. Then but 5. Bosch. Now I'm hoping that these will now exist, because when I was trying to find them before, I had to make these myself and it took way too long. So I'm hoping that they now have the digital boards for the cars, like this. So these are now used on the cars to indicate the position of the driver and team in class. Because when I made these, I had to do it manually, and it was extremely tricky, making lots of individual little circles. I'm hoping they're going to have positions like this. You know, it's going to have got a first, got a second, add to decals. If they've not got a first, that'll be really annoying if they don't. Come on, it's got to be a first. What's he put the tags as? He WEC ranking number 2. Let's try. Aha. Because obviously we want to be first. Probably the green needs to be a bit more luminous in order for it to stand out. There we go. Then we want our LMGT3 sticker for class. ACO and FIA sticker. Now you'll agree that this is starting to look a bit more like a sports car. Let's do it this way. No, that way should be better. Excuse me. Be able to get it on a bit better. It's all of the little details that make a difference. So next we want Goodyear. Yeah, I thought something about that didn't quite look right then, but no, it's fine. Ooh, no, yeah, definitely camera. Goodyear, and then we want Riedel. Do I? Let's leave it there. Right. So we've got a lot of decals on the side here. So we need first number 85, like that. Stay pink. Oh, didn't want that. It kind of goes at an angle. Could probably get away with having it a bit larger. Driven daily, the helmet, and women driven by dreams. So driven daily. Is this one on here? Yep. The helmet. It's about there. And then Women Driven by Dreams with the background on it. So they all seem to have I need one with the outline on it like that. Let's try it with spaces. Oh, don't tell me this is the only one that doesn't have the proper decal. Let's try iron links. This could be. It's going to really annoy me if this is the only decal that doesn't have the background. On it. I'm probably going to regret searching this because there's probably going to be, yeah, so much of I thought. It's lots of just is it? Yeah, Women Driven by Dreams. Yes, it's definitely Women Driven by Dreams. Okay, I've got an idea. Let's see if I can find like a tag or a label as a background and then just use that. One will exist somewhere. But I want the right shape. Maybe that one above could possibly work. But let me keep looking to see if I can just find the right shape. Which don't, yeah, last page. Don't think I'm going to find it on here. I'll tell you what then, let's go back to Iron Dames. Where is the Women Driven by Dreams? On this one. Okay. I'll put that about. What sort of back? It's got like a glittery background on it. So I'm just going to just do that. Do that. There we go, that works. Save progress. Right, so there is a little flick here of, I can probably use this like that. That's about the, does it come straight down? No, there's definitely a bit of space there, so and then I think it's a DC DCRS, yes. It's not a massive decal, so that should be, yep, that's fine. So that is looking pretty good so far. So we need some driver names. So we want Celia Martin. No, we're not using .Martin. Oh, that's just going to show Martini stuff. Have we got, here we go. So we've got Celia Martin, we want Rahel Fry. And then Sarah Bovey. Oh no, Michelle Gatting was the driver this year. To make it about equal spacing. It's weird that you do it symmetrically and it doesn't actually match up. Okay, so those are the names on there, and then go back to the left hand side of the car. We need to put some decals here. Now I can't remember if they're only on one side of the car or whether they are on both. I think they are only on the front left hand side of the car on this side, on the front. Yes, in fact, they are only on that side. Okay. So number 85 is about here. Then we want, actually no, there. Then we want the stay pink down here. We want the DCRS. We'll go about here. Yeah, that works there. And we want Goodyear again. And Iron Dames on the front. This splitter needs to have Manti on it, and which are the tuning company that do the 911. Okay, that's all good. So we want LMGT3 there. We want the Italian racing flag. It's the racing flag, so have the white outline. What I'll do is put that there. White. Duplicate. Do that. And we have two electrical cutoff switches. Like that. We want the Manti logo. Just that. To go there. And then we want ACO again to go there. And then here at the front, we want the Iron Dames ones again. We want the pink sparkly helmet. Ah, there, I've just seen that women driven by dreams background. Ugh, oh well. That's going to be about there. Right, so can't believe I've just spotted that now. And then women driven by dreams to go. It's an upwards angle like that. I see that works so much better like that now. Where was that? It was around here somewhere, wasn't it? Let's put it there, and then I wasn't far off of the placement. There we go. That would have annoyed me having it not been spot on. So where do those bonnet pins come under? If they come under anything, it doesn't look like they will. Okay, so in that case, I was hoping I'd get them actually on the pins, but perhaps not. So they know how to open with the bonnet, or where they have to press to do it. Windscreen banner needs to be black. I do have a darker, slightly version of the black, and then it's Iron Dames on the windshield. Banner, have I got one with an outline? No. I mean, there is that one, but it's not quite as thick as I would have liked it to have been, so we'll use that. She's got a bit too big. Let's just rein it in a little. Rooftop. What have we got on the rooftop? We've got the Women Driven by Dreams again. It's from about centre. Or is it Every Dream Matters? Yes, Women Driven by Dreams. Is there anything else on the roof? No, there isn't. It's now starting to look like a race car. We have a decal down here. KW. On that version. Excellent. What am I missing? What am I missing? Let's have a look. So I need to put the number sticker on the front, and it's on at a slight angle. So where's my DHL one? There it is. Do that. It's a bit more down. A bit more. You sure I'm about lined up straight? Template for number is down here. That will do. $85. Up there. Yeah, I'm aware it's black. We'll change the colour in a moment. I think the 5 just needs to be a smidge bigger up there. Yeah, that looks about right. That's that. And we've just now have the KW stickers on the side. Their rear wing has Iron Dames in the slightly lighter shade of pink. Endless on the sides. This looks damn good, if I may say so myself. Just checking pictures, make sure there's nothing I've missed off the front. That's fine, that's fine. So now we just need the ones on the rear. So actually I'm seeing, just looking at a picture I took at the elms, there is an ever so slight shade of pink here. Now this could make things a bit tricky, because I need to make it sit level with that at the bottom. Like that. I never noticed that before. Does it go all the way up? No, I don't think it does. So then we want Manti to go here. We've got two Iron Dames branding. Here. We need an LMGT3 sticker to go there. Good year once again. A toe arrow for the hoop. Now I can see that there is already a rain light on the car, but I'm going to make another one because there is one just under here. And what I'm going to do is I have this page. Nope. Just to make it look that little bit more realistic. There we've added a rain light onto the back of it, which is a cool little touch. So I think that is us complete with the Iron Dames LMGT3 livery. Just double checking over my pictures that I have. Don't think I have missed anything off it. And it looks pretty damn good. It's a bit of a shame that I couldn't put a window on the back of the car, but I think still it looks really good, unless there happens to be on here. If they have got a window on here, let's have a look. Don't think there will be, but we'll have a look. Nothing that looks like it will fit the Porsche. That could possibly work if I reshape it. Not an idea. Let's just... So let's hide that, hide that, hide that, hide that. So that just looks pale at the moment. Is there anything in particular in the back window? Just, it looks like scaffolding. Oh, what do they call it? They don't call it, I've forgotten the name. Roll cage. That's it. What do I get? I think this is going to show like Nicolas Cage. Yeah. Let's try. Do I want 90 degrees? I wonder if I do that. Yeah, it kind of works. I wonder if I just add another. I think just the one is fine. I was wondering if I could stick. I know Porsches are rear-engined, but I was wondering if I could put something in the back window just to. I think it's no. I don't think that's going to work. No, I think I'm best off just leaving it like that. And then maybe way. Oh, that kind of works. Oh, I'm seeing one on decals here. There is 4.2, assuming it's to do with the engine in the car. In like the Porsche style writing. In fact, in that I could just put the 911 GT3 RS on here. Yeah, 71 pages. I don't know if I want to go through all those. Something like that will do. And there we have it, the Iron Dames 2025 World Endurance Championship and European Le Mans Series. RSR. Let's have a look at it, see how it will look outside. I think that looks pretty darn good. I'm very happy with that. Very happy with that indeed. Excellent stuff. Now let's share it so people can download it. Because technically they do run in ELMS. Cannot be edited. Put in the tags. Iron Dames LMGT3, and because it's a popular search term, WEC. So there we have it. Should you want to download the livery that I've just made here, you can go on to Gran Turismo and you can search for it on this car. in the showcase, and you'll be able to download it and stick it on your Porsche 911 GT3 car. And I think that looks pretty good for an hour and a half, 2 hours work. How long have we been going? 2 hours. So there you go. It took 2 hours to make that, and it looks pretty nice. I assume not many people have been here watching this, but if you enjoyed watching this back, please let me know. Thought I'd see and show you what it's like to make a livery from my perspective. We'll see you guys for another stream in the middle of the week. Thank you all for checking this out, and we'll see you guys in another video very soon. Thank you, and bye bye for now.